how long does it take to absorb it, that first one? That one, like Brendan Hartley now, that first one. I mean, next morning, what happens next morning when you wake up? You kind of
takes a year. Because really, you absorb it, but then everything, it just has got so much effect on the rest of what happens for your career, for your season, everything else. And it's when you come back here and have to defend it, that's when you realise what you've done.
Brendan Hartley got the phone out already for the selfie. If we check his Twitter, that's probably up there already, so...
So it should be, and so it should be.
And you were talking about Kiwis being proud. World Rally star Hayden Paddon has already tweeted congratulating those two Kiwis. And, yeah, for a small country, way, way, way away from anywhere, they're pretty good at punching above their weight.
They certainly are. More history, more history. Everywhere you look, this place is oozing with history, ghosts, emotions, the passion of Le Mans. That is why this is the focus of the team's season, you know, of the design of the cars, of the way that the teams are structured, the drivers that you put in the cars for the remaining 8 races. Yeah. But it's this race that they want to focus on. And this race has gone towards Porsche for the 19th time. The fans, nearly 250,000 of them here, dotted around this 13.6 kilometre long circuit, 8.5 miles, and they have seen quite something. Let's have a quick review of the GTE Pro class. That was Johnny Adam getting ahead at Arnage with about a lap and a half to go. Then it was Jordan Taylor with the Corvette going over the gravel, but ultimately that was his demise because he picked up a puncture and he was then reeled in by the Aston Martin with the yellow sunstrip that hounded him down. He then got ahead with one more lap to go, but ultimately the Corvette was wounded and it was limping because it had a puncture. It was in second place and it went into real understeer problems. Then the tyre carcass completely blew up, damaging the bodywork whilst we were concentrating on the outright winner of this motor race. And again, it was struggling with 3/4 of a lap to go. And eventually it crossed the line in 3rd position because in half an hour, Harry Tincknell went from 4th to 2nd in class in GTE Pro with the Ford GT. Aston Martin winning GTE Pro from Ford, from Chevrolet Corvette, from Porsche in 4th.
The Corvette had to do it though, as we keep saying, it's Le Mans 24 hours. He was aggressive, missed his braking, made a mistake, but then he just had to keep pushing. Eavesdropping in on the conversation of our podium placed crews. Remember, at the end of the season, Porsche had to move aside drivers. They mixed around their drivers, didn't they? And people at the start were kind of like, oh, what did Dumas do wrong? What did Mark Lieb do wrong? People like that. And some big calls made from the management at the top.
And in the end, the Porsche winning Le Mans. Alan, you know about driving for Porsche, you know about driving for the big manufacturers, Toyota and Audi. It's not a question of they don't care. That sounds like a throwaway line from me, and that's a naughty word to use, but it's the car that they need to win Le Mans, not the crew.
Yeah. That's very true, but however, the crew is a very much part of the car, and the car is very much part of the team. And that team also includes probably 250 people back in Weissach in the case of the Porsche guys and TMG for Toyota.
It is Nelson Piquet Jr. who comes on the podium, receiving the laurels in 3rd position, together with David Hannemer Hansen. The Dane comes on, following the Brazilian, and it is then the Swiss, Matthias Besch, videoing their way on, and quite right too. But Hayden coming on as well as the team manager of that Rebellion squad. What a day for them. What a day, punching so much above their weight. And look at this. This is the Ho Pin Tung coming on to the podium, the Dutch-Chinese driver. Following him on is the 19-year-old Thomas Laurent, the Frenchman, first ever Le Mans, gets on the podium. And then it's Oliver Jarvis, the Brit, who follows them on to that second spot on the podium. But it is the outright winners of the 85th running of the Le Mans 24 Hours for 2017. It is Porsche with Timo Bernhard, the 36-year-old, Earl Bamber, the 26-year-old, taking his second win, and Brendan Hartley, the 27-year-old, taking his first victory in the Le Mans 24 Hours. The crowning moment of Brendan Hartley's career. Earl Bamber, he's now got 2 Rolex Daytonas with Le Mans engraved on the back. What a feeling. And it is Fritz Enzinger, the project leader for the Porsche 919 Hybrid, that is up there to receive that trophy and indeed put it in the back of the car and drive it back to Germany, because they've won 3 on the trot and they get to keep that very trophy forever.
See Ollie Jarvis there. Remember last year he was standing on 3rd in the podium last year in an LMP1 car. He stands 1 place higher in an LMP2 car this year.
Porsche win Le Mans for the 19th time. Another mark in the record books, another leap ahead of the competition. Porsche now with 19, Audi with 13, but in a smaller period of running, to give them their due. I'm not saying that just because you're here, Alan.
Thank you very much, Pierre Fillon, the president of the Automobile Club de l'Ouest, giving out the trophies to Heimer Hansen and the guys from Rebellion there. And now to Nelson Piquet Jr. Bart Hayden from Rebellion. He's taken that team, 10th anniversary for that team, and to be on the podium, to be in the overall podium twice in 3 years as a privateer.
Next up, it is the local government minister giving out the trophies to Ho Pin Tung, Thomas Laurent and Oliver Jarvis on behalf of the brand new team made for this year, Jackie Chan. DC Racing with the Orica 07, the Gibson engine in the back of their car, just as it was for the Rebellion, in 3rd position. And it is the Grand Marshal here this year, Monaco Formula One winner, World Sports Car Champion, an all-round top bloke. It is Mark Webber giving the trophies to his former boss, Fritz Enzinger, on the podium. Finally, they are crowned the champions of Le Mans for 2017. And it is Earl Bamber who raises the trophy first, and his former teammate, Brendan Hartley. Brendan Hartley got the drive at Porsche because he wrote the bosses at Porsche an email saying, I'm around, I'm not doing anything, can you give me a drive? And here he is on top of the podium at Le Mans. Timo Bernhard raising the trophy for the 2nd time. What emotions. As the fire extinguishers are let off to cool people down in this scorching heat here in the middle of France. Now that is a heavy trophy. They're going to have to wait a minute because I think they've got another presentation. It's very small and it's very Swiss, but it is something very special. The 3 Rolex Daytonas being presented to the winning drivers. Le Mans 24, and I'm sure the date engraved on the back of it. Winner 2017, it'll have engraved on the back of it, and there's only 3 of those in the world, and they are never ever going to let them out of their sight. Enjoy those watches, wear them every day, and every time you look at it, it'll remind you of your victory. Alan McNish, you've got one. Do you look at it and think, oh yeah, just a little snapshot as you look at your watch every day?
First of all, it's not just necessarily the actual watch, it's what it symbolises. It's the spirit of the whole event, and lifting up that massive trophy, you remember it, picking it up, you remember everything that you and your whole team have gone through, not just this week, but also all of the endurance tests, all of the work behind the scenes, and all of the people behind the scenes that you don't see, and the watch is an exact symbol of that.
That's the thing you just said, all that endurance testing, 5 or 6 30-hour tests some of these teams do, and you're in the middle of nowhere doing it, and you're thinking, a bit fed up of driving around here on my own, but this is what it's all for.
Yeah, when it turns into a victory like this, then it makes it all worthwhile, and you don't even think about it. If it's a situation like for the number 7 Toyota Kobayashi, you think we still had problems.
It's champagne on top of the podium.
The Jackie Chanter Jake Hall was pretty rapid on the champagne there. They were out first.
Yeah, this is a team, 6 months ago that wasn't formed. It was launched only before the opening round of the championship in mid-April. And here they are on a podium at Le Mans. The relief, the sting of the champagne in their eyes, but who cares? Well, Mr. Porsche is here, and he has seen his cars with his name win once more this Le Mans 24 hours. And remember, in only a month's time, they will be back in action on July the 16th at the 6 hours of the Nürburgring. That'll be a long time away from now. They'll take a couple of days to decompress, deconstruct things here from Le Mans. But then there is a championship still to be won. We're trying to listen in on what Brendan Hartley's got to say with the circuit commentator. Earl Bamber it was, apologies. But the super slow-mo for these guys to remember it by. And congratulations being given from Toyota-san to Mr. Porsche. That's the good thing about sports car racing. No jumping in the hire car with 5 laps remaining, beetling off to the airport. It's pride. And you remember last year, Julian, that the Porsche guys went over to Toyota immediately after the podium into the hospitality and sharing a beer and going, it was so close for you, but in the end, we just happened to be there at the end of the race.
May I tell you, pretty much everybody in the paddock went to Toyota just as the race finished, and to commiserate with them, because all for the grace of God, would it have been our car in that respect or someone else's? And we all know how close and tantalising, painful that could be. Never did we know that this race would come down to a sort of same race of attrition in terms of different categories, and how cruel it could be for Toyota once again. But to see Toyota-san there presenting and congratulating Dr. Porsche is a fantastic spirit of Le Mans, and that's something that I think is quite unique about this place.
Brendan Hartley just standing there, just shaking his head, kind of like, it just was incredible. This would be the pole position, P1 category podium, isn't there? Which is going to look a bit empty. it's going to look a little bit empty. Such was the speed and the commitment that only 2 of these cars actually finished out of the 6 that started in P1 category.
But look at that. First, second overall, the Porsche, then the Jackie Chan, then the Rebellion car. As Nelson Piquet Jr. addresses the crowd together with Hanema Hansen and then Matthias Besch. And a word in Portuguese. Timo Bernhard now addressing the crowd, but yeah, that's now a car going into the annals of motorsport history. We may be hobbling around in a few years' time and going to some historic motorsport event in 25 years' time, and we'll see that car and we'll go, hey, do you remember that? Do you remember that weekend in 2017? We were there. The race unfolded, and this was the moment when the number 2 Porsche had undone all of those laps that it needed to catch up. Some 18 laps down, it had lost 65 minutes. The mechanics had refitted the front electric hybrid motor that powers the front wheels. They lost 65 minutes, they fought back and won the race. Sure, we know that the number 1 sister Porsche was ahead and then ultimately ran into eventual retirement. But in the end, this was the moment when the number 2 Porsche got ahead, and it was never headed from then on in towards the end of the race. It was on the charge down to Indianapolis, and it was Brendan Hartley, I think at the time, or was it Timo? Can't remember now, matters little, but it was Timo Bernhard who crossed the line with the Porsche 919. Getting busy with the fizzy, indeed, they may well do on top of the podium. And I should think after 20-something hours, nearly 30 hours awake, it'll be hitting them like a bus if they have a swig of that. You know what champagne does, Julian? Goes straight to your head.
Yeah, amazing feeling for them all as they, again, celebrate on the podium. And Alan was saying it before, what it does to your career, how it makes you feel and things like that. It's just, but then just looking out, look at how many people are out in front of you. I mean, it's like pop stars at pop concerts.
And it's not only the people in front of the podium, but actually in Parc Fermé, which is on the pit lane entry, there are about another 3,000 people all looking at Parc Fermé for the other cars that have been parked up as these guys. So that's the view they've got, and that is surely the best view in world motorsport. So as Earl makes his way off the podium, they'll be going to do the PR stuff and just relaxing and soaking it all in. Thank you for joining us over the last 25 hours, nearly 26 actually. There you have it, 1970 through to 2017. Richard Atwood in 1970, together with Hans Hermann with the red and white stripes Porsche 917. The Salzburg car, that was the first victory for Porsche. And as I said, through the 917 era, the 936, the 935 back in 79, and then the 936 in 1981. Then the 956, that really did move sports car racing on, didn't it? Then the slightly longer Porsche 962, and then the GT1, and now the 919 hybrid. Who's going to take the laurels? Will Dr. Porsche take the laurels? No, he's going to take the trophy instead, as polite thank you for the competition comments are then given over to Toyota. All of the other drivers up there. Anthony Davidson, I can see on the right-hand side, together with Sebastian Buemi, Gerard Neveu, on behalf of the World Endurance Championship, all talking about, well, next year. Alan, we've not got long to the end of this broadcast. I can't thank you enough for your brilliant insights, your knowledge, your razor-sharp comments, as always. One of the best Le Mans that you've seen from a commentary position?
It was something that was probably summed up Le Mans. It's a mountain for so many people in so many different ways. To either make it to the podium, to make it to the finish. It was a bit old school in terms of reliability being a factor, mistakes, everything else. But one thing that is clear is it had so many twists and turns that if you're to make it into a Hollywood film, you wouldn't quite believe it. But once again, it's just done that. For the different winners, they should be 100% proud of themselves, but also for the guys that made it to the end. That is a mission on its own, so congratulations to everybody, and I look forward to seeing you all in 2018.
Let us not forget, as we see the LMP1 podium, these guys coming out again, first and second, the Porsche ahead of the Toyota. Let us remind ourselves quickly that it was the JMW Ferrari that won the GTE AM class with Britt, Rob Smith and Will Stevens, and Dries van Toor at the wheel of that 488. In the GTE Pro class, it was Johnny Adam taking the Aston Martin over the line, together with Darren Turner and Brazilian Daniel Serra, ahead of the Ford and ahead of the Chevrolet. And of course, LMP2 being won by the number 38 Jackie Chan, ahead of the Rebellion, ahead of the sister Jackie Chan car.
So that is our winning drivers in the P1 category as well as overall, and that is it for the 2017 Le Mans 24 Hours. A quick thank you to all of everybody who has helped us through the week. Toby Moody, Peter Dumbreck, Giles Dawson, Lena came in to talk to us, Alan McNish, our pit lane reporters, Gert, Louise and Duncan, who were in the pit lane. And big thanks to everybody, as well as everyone behind the scenes in the TV compound. The 2017 Le Mans is over and done with. And again, it didn't fail to deliver.
Voilà pour ce podium, je le laisse à la reste peut-être sur le côté. Gentlemen, good bottles behind you. Again, if you want to use them déroulé sur le podium. Allez, ça va être pétillé ce moment. Comme le veut la tradition, et lancement d'ailleurs en 1972 et du point qui nous en mettre sa présence aussi aujourd'hui. Voilà qui est bien. Elles vont sentir bon les combinaisons. Allez, un mot, parce qu'on va pas pouvoir faire autrement, c'est clair. Sébastien va utiliser des capacités d'exprimer dans toutes les langues. Bon, c'est toujours pas de ma part, ce genre de choses, c'est mieux. Et on va moins s'apprendre. C'est sûr, on a une petite station difficile.
Selfie les gars.
Nous avons vu le qui a tenu la course. Et c'est certainement un numéro de l'arrivée finale. C'est dans un instant un peu sans réflexion. Avec le et un exploit remarquable, avec une victoire, deux voitures. Le chacun ici, les propositions sont à 5 minutes. Ce sera évidemment
comme il se doit, les pilotes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Podium ceremony.
Alors, c'est surtout plus pour de belles émotions. And then Podium ceremony now, 3, 2, 1. Mesdames et messieurs, Podium fait dérouler les deux. Merci d'accueillir le cheval.
Car 37, Jackie Chan, DC Racing. Jackie! Please welcome again David and Ray Olsen from Denmark, Matthias Rey from Switzerland, and of course Nelson Piquet from Brazil. cette sublime victoire à l'arrivée du monde de Oliver Jarvis redéplace sur le podium. Et voici quelques secondes. Il est tout de suite l'interprétation de l'hymne de la FIA.
Vice-président de la CEO de remettre naturellement les trophées à ceux qui terminent sur la deuxième marche. Et mesdames et messieurs, nous allons aussi avoir le plaisir de dire presentation of the trophies to the winner Félicitations encore pour ce très bon résultat pour le classement actuel. Je pense que la course aussi a été sur règlement aussi bravo à l'ensemble des fournisseurs de stations de comme le pour le chassis à deux fois pour les rapports sur et féliciter aussi les 4 constructeurs châssis qui nous ont fait vraiment des voitures de qualité, Yves, Ryan notamment, qui aussi avec le président de la partie une participation de la et puis saluer Jacques Nicolet, automotive, les châssis Olivier, on a le de les présenter cette semaine, et naturellement Henri Cartier, Henri Cartier, que je rapport à toute notre équipe aussi. mettre votre trophée en place, à garder ici un petit instant, quelqu'un qui, voilà, bien sûr, sûrement content, va venir nous dire quelque chose, pas de question en particulier, au public, question au public.
C'est difficile d'être plus satisfait de ce qu'on a accompli aujourd'hui. L'équipe a fait un travail extraordinaire. Tout le monde s'en a aperçu aujourd'hui. De faire deuxième au général, de gagner la catégorie, de faire la réponse. C'est extraordinaire. Mais grâce à ce succès, on va savourer ce moment. L'équipe Janichian des Racines et Jota, on va savourer ce moment parce que c'est des moments assez rares dans la vie.
C'est clair. Bravo, en tout cas, salut aussi les commissaires, tous ceux qui ont aussi œuvré dans les coulisses. Comme l'a dit, la contribution pour faire un travail extra, c'est aussi essentiel.
Absolument. Et encore une fois, les commissaires ont été honnêtement extraordinaires.
Voilà. Sachez passer ces paroles. Quel de Tristan en donne merci aussi à tous les bénévoles qui ont apporté leur contribution pour l'organisation sous le signe de perfection de la 85e édition de la Podium. Chers amis de Podium,
voiture GT, vous avez raison, tout est en phase préparatoire et approche. Ils vont arriver à ce dénouement pour la catégorie GT. Ce fut extraordinaire et nous avons un plateau vraiment génial. Et l'année prochaine, il y aura un constructeur supplémentaire avec l'arrivée de BMW en plus. C'est en préparation déjà tout cela, beaucoup d'observateurs clairement et une course finale vraiment délirante. Nous allons en avoir pour tout le monde. J'aperçois Jordan Taylor qui n'est pas loin entre satisfaction et peut-être une petite pointe de frustration, mais quelle arrivée, quelle course absolument extraordinaire, y compris pour cette catégorie. Please stay with us a few minutes again for the GTE Pro Podium ceremony and just after, of course, the GTE fantastic fight, fantastic battle, very tough battle on the track. Great until the last corner. 3, 2, 1, get ready, call it.
Drivers within the next few instants. So nous play, are you ready? J'ai l'impression que oui, c'est notre phrase un peu habituelle. Voilà, mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, GT Pro Class, now please welcome with our 63 Corvettes, l'équipage de la Corvette numéro 63. J'aperçois ici Antonio Garcia.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. What we should begin with Andy Prio qui arrive et qui nous rejoint.
Harry Dickdale, et mesdames et messieurs, Pipo Luis Felipe Derani.
Et George Chapelle aussi qui va nous rejoindre pour accompagner bien entendu cet extraordinaire résultat de Ford. GT Pro Class Le Mans 2017, la catégorie GT Pro Le Mans 2017. C'est une victoire Aston Martin avec un héros, Jonathan Adam, qui a gagné l'arrivée. Il faut nous attendre, Jonathan. Mesdames et messieurs, pour la suite, Daniel Serra, Spirit of Le Mans, Sir David Richard.
Jusqu'à la sortie du dernier virage, une course magnifiquement disputée. Le salut des pilotes entre eux, de l'encadrement.
Voilà pour Jonathan Adam, trop pressé de terminer, qui a maintenant sa couronne de laurier. An Aston Martin victory, please listen to the God Save the Queen. Allons-y. à l'équipage, troisième General Manager for the Automobile Club de l'Ouest, Frédéric Lénard. Presentation of the trophy awarded to the drivers of the 63 Corvette Racing, Yann Magnussen, Antonio Garcia, and Jordan Taylor. Gilles Lutpin, vice-président de l'Automobile Club de l'Ouest. Gilles Lutpin, such as vice-president of the ACO for the presentation of the trophy of the drivers at the second place. L'équipage de la Ford numéro 60, cette trophy awarded presented by Gilles Lutpin for the ACO vice-president. Les pilotes de la Ford numéro 67. Ford on the podium with car number 67. Ford Chip Ganassi Team UK. Et ce sera avec le président de la commission d'endurance de la FIA, Sir Lindsay Owen-Jones. Welcome to you. Was the president of the FIA Endurance Commission, Sir Lindsay Owen-Jones. Trophy awarded, of course, to the drivers. Aston Martin race car number 97, entered by Aston Martin Racing with David Richards. And the winners are, et les vainqueurs sont Darren Turner, Jonathan Adam et Daniel Serra, Aston Martin. Yes, please raise your trophy again, gentlemen. Congratulations to you. Allez-y, présentez vos trophées encore de façon dynamique. Vous voulez prendre les bouteilles maintenant? The bottles now. Ok, enjoy. Allez, prenez les bouteilles et faites-en bon usage. Voilà. George Chapelle, vous devriez rester sur le podium. Il faut assumer quand on gagne. Bravo, regardez, David Richards l'a fait. Bravo, messieurs. Voilà, restez en place. Stay here with us a few instants again. Bravo, David. I think it's one of the best champagne of your life, isn't it? C'est un de vos meilleurs champagnes.
Say again.
I'd like to say, according to me, it's one of your favorite champagne today here.
Yeah, Pommery champagne is very favorite one of us at home. My son's here selling it.
Well, what would you like to say to all the fans, to all the Aston Martin supporters? A great victory, of course.
No, I think a big thank you as well to all the fans from Aston Martin, because we come here every year, we do our best, we can't win every year, but this year was very special. Great job by the three drivers here and all the rest of the team particularly, but a big thank you to all the fans who come here to watch, and thank you very much.
Le Mans, catégorie G2 Pro, je pense que tout le monde était anglais ces derniers instants. On vient tous les ans, on fait un maximum d'efforts, et là nous gagnons. Bravo. Eh bien c'est le cas, c'est l'occasion également de faire des selfies. Nous saluerons aussi l'équipage de la Corvette. Nous avons énormément apprécié ce qu'ils ont fait. Bravo encore, messieurs, Sir David Richards. Congratulations to you. And Ford is on the podium. Good, well done.
Oh, thank you. It's a really fantastic race, very hard. Well done to these guys, really top job. And well, thanks to everybody, the team down here, Ford guys, Moldy Maddock, Chip Ganassi, everybody, amazing. So tough race, but very happy to be on.
Very happy to be on the podium. Thank you very much. Jonathan, one word, because you've been the hero of the final minutes, and the victory is for you. Mesdames et messieurs, applaudissez Jonathan Adam, winner with the final stint. Oh, great it was.
Yeah, it was amazing. You know, the race was hard fought with Corvette and the rest of the field, but massive thank you to Aston Martin, everyone in the team playing a massive role, and this is a real honour to stand up here.
Thank you very much. On vous applaudit encore tous les trois et tous, tout l'Aston Martin Racing. Voilà. Et puis bravo aussi à Total, associé également à cette victoire. Voici maintenant la dernière ligne droite dans ce même registre des remises de trophées. La Scuderia Corsa qui est là. Not a victory every year, but a podium ceremony each time now for you. It's a good habitude, as we say in France. change nothing. Voilà, dans un petit instant, nous allons avoir le plaisir de retrouver, bien sûr, pour le classement en GTE AM, l'équipage qui va ainsi arriver. C'est une question de secondes pour terminer, bien entendu, l'appel ainsi de ces mêmes pilotes. Une victoire Ferrari, c'est aussi très important pour naturellement célébrer le tout dans le classement de ces 24 heures du Mans. Porsche s'impose au général, une équipe chinoise en LMP2, une victoire Aston Martin célébrée à l'instant dans le classement des GTE Pro et une Ferrari avec Jim McWhirter que l'on aura le grand plaisir aussi d'accueillir dans les prochains instants. C'est ce qui nous amène à dire que quelque part nous avons finalement eu un petit peu pour tout le monde et ce n'est pas plus mal. Nous allons pouvoir les accueillir dans une poignée de secondes. Ceci étant, ce n'est pas complètement la dernière séquence de notre podium. Je pense qu'il y aura une petite vidéo après et ensuite une séquence bonus pour tous ceux qui ont été également dans le monde du virtuel très proche de la réalité. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it seems that we are ready. Yes, so 3, 2, 1. Je vais demander ainsi à l'équipage de la Ferrari Scuderia Corsa car number 62. Pierre Sweden, please join us. Allez, à vous de commencer cette
Arrivé un petit instant pour bien sûr nous rejoindre sur ce même podium à l'arrivée voilà, de cette même voiture avec Cooper McNeil et Tom Sodel, William Sweden. Voilà, c'est l'arrivée de Tom Sodel à l'instant. Okay, welcome. Join us.
William Swiller nous a rejoint sur le podium avec Cooper McNeil et Tom Sodel. Nous avons le plaisir maintenant d'accueillir la Ferrari du Team Spirit of Race, Duncan Cameron.
Join us, gentlemen. Avec bien sûr sur ce même podium aussi Aaron Scott et Marco Ciossi. Il y a voilà, pour rejoindre aussi l'équipe Spirit of Race.
Et puis, bien entendu, les vainqueurs, la Ferrari du team GMW Motorsport. Il y a, mesdames et messieurs, Rob Smith qui va pouvoir nous rejoindre. L'arrivée également de Will Stans, Ronald Sherwin, le champion social de Paris, et Jim McWhirter, GMW Motorsports.
Avec la Ferrari.
Le podium est au complet avec Cooper McNeil, William Swiller, Townsend Bell pour la troisième marche du podium, avec Duncan Cameron, Aaron Scott, Marco Ciossi sur la deuxième marche du podium, Rob Smith, William Stevens, Dries Vanthoor, God Save the Queen. C'est à vous maintenant. Ses qualités de membre du comité directeur de la CO à François Bourdin, tout d'abord de nous rejoindre, member of the board of management for the Automobile Club de l'Ouest. François Bourdin, please, presentation of the trophy
for the car with the Ferrari Angel Scuderia Corsa, Cooper McNeil, William Swiller, Townsend Bell and the third position, troisième place.
Dans la catégorie GTE, la Scuderia Corsa, Cooper McNeil, William Swiller et Townsend Bell. Grégoire Denis, secrétaire trésorier adjoint de la CO pour la présentation des trophées au second. Sir Grégoire Denis, and secretary also in charge of the financial aspects such as adjoint for the ACO. Presentation of the trophies for the drivers and the second position.
Duncan Cameron, Aaron Scott, Marco Ciossi, Spirit of Race for the second position. Et chers amis, pour terminer, un rayon de soleil supplémentaire avec Marie Alvarez-Garçon, vice-présidente de la CO, Lady Marie Alvarez-Garçon, vice-president of the Automobile Club de l'Ouest.
Pendant the presentation of off the trophies to the winning team with the Ferrari entered by BMW Motorsport for Jim McWhirter. And the drivers are Rob Swiss, Will Stamps, and Dries Van
Voilà, mesdames et messieurs, allez-y, gentlemen, raise your trophy again if you want, or you have bottles just behind you. Should you want to use them, please enjoy. Now, il y a des bouteilles pour vous maintenant, allez-y. Voilà pour cette cérémonie de podium et un Jim McWhirter forcément très ému bien entendu car c'est votre Ferrari qui gagne. It's your Ferrari, the winning car. Congratulations to you, sir. It's really deserved.
Oh, thank you very much. Everybody worked really hard for it. They're all standing out there.
Voilà, l'équipe peut saluer.
These three good guys here, good drivers and work very hard, and our engineer Hugh. So it's a great success for everybody.
Ouais, je voudrais remercier naturellement tous les membres de l'équipe et tous ces pilotes qui ont fait un excellent travail. Un petit mot également avec William Swidler, voilà, alors que l'on termine ainsi, hop là, de secouer les bouteilles, hop là. William, well, oh, it's a fantastic taste, isn't it? Well, another podium, third in a row, not a victory, but William, for you, a third podium ceremony.
This is a magical place. I mean, I'm so excited for JMW, Rob, and what they did. But to be here 3 years in a row in a Ferrari with Scuderia Corsa, it can't get any better. So thank you to WeatherTech Racing for bringing us here. We're excited, and hopefully we'll be back next year. The fans are amazing. Thank you.
Mesdames et messieurs, William Abouillon.